Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making a Silkwing Nightwing hybrid for Wings of Fire. If you don't know what that is, it's a book series all about dragons. Anyway, I decided to start by tracing the Nightwing outline from the book. You may see a different version of it, my picture in the corner. The original video got deleted before I could post it, so I had to start all over. And yeah. Anyway, you might notice that I didn't trace any of the spines or the scales yet, or the wings. You might be noticing I'm making the body a little thinner. I wanted to make the body resemble the Silkwing body without it being a Silkwing body, so I decided to make it thinner. And I don't know why I didn't do the spikes. I guess I was just being lazy. But I did decide to give it a Silkwing neck. You may see right here that I lined this up absolutely terribly, so it just made more work for me. Anyway, I also gave it the antennae from the Silkwing, and I ended up using the top half of the Silkwing wing because I wanted it to have the wing without it being a Silkwing wing. So I decided to give it one wing instead of two wings. And you may notice I'm not going to put the pattern on. You will see why I do that later. I also had to improvise with the shape a bit because you can't really see the bottom part of the top wing. I also saw that I put the picture up too high originally, so I had to bring that down. And you can see the legs don't really match up. I didn't notice that at the moment. And you can see I'm literally doing every scale, even though I didn't do any of the spikes. Yeah, I don't know. And I decided to give it the Nightwing pattern, because I had never drawn a Silkwing before, so I wanted to stick with something a little closer to home. I have drawn a Silkwing hybrid before, though, and it took me a long time to do this, and you may notice the dots on the scales here. Those will come into play later, but they won't be on those scales. They'll actually be on the other scales, so the scales above them. So you may also notice that I'm not doing all of the tiny scales. I was feeling lazy because I made this real late at night. Anyway, you may notice that I didn't put all the detail in, but I did put most of the detail in. This was a hard part because, well, I'm not super great at copying from memory, so I kind of had to trace. And I finally fixed the leg, and I tried to make the head look a little smaller, more like a Silkwing head without it having the shape of a Silkwing, but then I'm like, no. So I just kind of changed the legs to be thinner, as you can see. I may have already said that, but oh well. Anyway, and you can see I'm giving it the Nightwing colors, and I tried to stick with colors that could possibly, in a lighter version, be on a Silkwing, like blues and purples. And I wanted to kind of avoid green because I didn't want this to be a rainbow Nightwing. I wanted to have a bit more color than a normal Nightwing. And you can see I made a very bad decision by making the legs bright blue, like the other scales. That was a terrible decision on my part. So I also ended up making the scales darker and more black because I realized they ended up being a little too blue. And now you can see I am adding in the dots now. And you can tell this really isn't all that great. You will see later I will definitely end up changing the color of the legs. Or maybe not, I have no idea. Right now this looks a little messy, but what I was going for was for a galaxy looking wing style. So I started off using really bright colors so I could see what I was doing, and I did end up dulling the colors a bit, making them a bit darker as well, but not until later. I also ended up trying to give it like a little shading to make it pop out, and I also ended up using a lot of stars. And I used purple for some of the stars because I thought that would look pretty cool, knowing that some Nightwing dots end up being like different colors, like blue or purple, so I tried to use that. I finished up the shading for the most part, and I did actually have to go through and shade like almost every singular scale. Almost, not all of them, but almost all of them, which took me quite a long time. And you'll see this video really is only 7 minutes long, but this took me about like, what, 5 times? This took me like 44 minutes to do. Anyway, yeah, I was thinking of names, and I was gonna go with Galaxy, but I felt like that name was overused, so I ended up using the name Space Dust because, you know, the wing pattern kind of looks like it's space dust. So meet Space Dust, and if this gets like 10 views or something like that, I'll probably end up showing her hybrids I've made. So thanks for watching. See you next time.